Consider a prism ABC. A prism is a piece of transparent material bounded by three rectangular surfaces forming a triangle. Let AB be the surface of the incidence and BC be the base of the prism. When a ray of light traveling in a straight line in a transparent homogeneous medium with a certain velocity enters another transparent medium in which it has different velocity. So, it bends at the boundary of the two media and then travels again on a straight line in another medium. Here, RQ is the incident ray, QS is the refracted ray, and ST is the emergent ray. When a normal is drawn on the surface of the prism AB at a point Q, the angle between the normal and the incident ray is called the angle of incidence, and it is denoted by I. When you extend the incident ray in the forward direction and emergent ray in the backward direction, they make an angle D, which is called the angle of deviation. Refraction is a phenomena of bending a ray of light at the boundary of two optical media when a light ray is passing from one optical medium to another.
Aim: to determine refractive index of a material of a prism by ID curve method.
The apparatus used in this experiment are prism, drawing board, drawing pins, office pins, white paper, protractor, graph paper, pencil, and a half-meter scale.
P1 and P2. So of P1, P2 and the pins P3, P4 lie in the same line. Here you can clearly observe the images of pins P1 and P2. Images of pins P1, P2 and the pins P3, P4 all lie in the Now record the values of angle of incidence and the corresponding
Refractive index of prism. Observations. Observation table for angle of incidence I and angle of deviation D. When the angle of incidence I is equal to 35 degree, the angle of deviation D was 46 degree. Similarly, for the angle of incidence I is equal to 40 degree, D is equal to 42 degrees. Similarly, for the angle of incidence I is equal to 45 degrees, D is equal to 40 degrees. I is equal to 50 degrees, D is equal to 38 degrees. I is equal to 55 degrees, D is equal to 42 degrees. I is equal to 60 degrees, D is equal to 45 degrees. Using the values of I and D, we plot a ID graph, taking I angle of incidence on x-axis and D angle of deviation on y-axis. We select a suitable scale on x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 5 degree. On y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 degree. And origin is 30 degree, 30 degree. Now, let us plot the points on the graph. For x is equal to 35 degree, y is equal to 46 degree. X 40 degrees, y 42 degrees. X 45 degrees, y 40 degrees. X 50 degrees, y 38 degrees. X 55 degrees, y 42 degrees. X 60 degrees, y 45 degrees. After plotting all the points on the graph, we need to join all the points using a free hand such that the line passes through the maximum number of points. Now, the lowest point on the line is identified and a perpendicular is drawn on the y-axis. The y-coordinates gives the value of angle of minimum deviation dm. Here, the angle of minimum deviation is 39 degrees.
Angle of prism. Fix a white paper on the drawing board with the help of a drawing pins. Now, place the prism on the paper and trace its edges and mark the corners as A, B, C. Draw two parallel lines such that A lies symmetrically between them. After that, fix two pins P and Q on one of the lines. Now, looking through the face of AB, fix two pins R and S in such a way that the reflective image of P and Q and the pins R and S all lie in a straight line without any parallax. Here, PQ represents the incident ray and RS represents the reflected ray. Now, we repeat the same procedure on the surface AC. So that the reflective images of EF and pins GH all lie in a straight line without any parallax. Extend the rays RS and GH backward so that they meet at a point O. Here, the angle ROG is twice the angle A of the prism. Here, angle ROG is equal to 120 degrees and the angle A is equal to 120 by 2, which is 60 degrees. Therefore, the angle of prism is 60 degrees. After obtaining the angle of prism, A is equal to 60 degrees, we can now calculate the refractive index of the prism using the formula mu is equal to sin A plus dm by 2 by sin A by 2. dm can be obtained from the ID graph, which is 39 degrees. Therefore, mu is equal to sin 60 plus 39 degrees by 2 by sin 60 degrees by 2, which is mu is equal to sin 49.5 degrees by sin 30 degrees, which is 2 sin 49.5 degrees. Therefore, mu is equal to 1.520. The angle of incidence of the incident ray should lie between 30 degree to 60 degree. The pins should be fixed vertically and the pin pricks should be encircled after they are removed. A minimum distance of 10 centimeters should be maintained between the two pins.
arrowheads should be marked to represent the direction of the incident and emergent rays. For all observations, you should use the same angle of prism.
दोस्तों, आपको वीडियो कैसी लगी हमें कमेंट करके बताइए। यदि अच्छी लगी हो तो लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और दोस्तों के साथ इस वीडियो को शेयर कर दीजिए।